Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you guys are all doing very well. Tonight, we are doing a live love reading here on the channel. So, if you're watching this in the live version, hello, welcome. We will be doing a reading looking at the energy of your love interest, or if you don't have a specific love interest, just the general masculine energy, and seeing how he's currently thinking and feeling about you right now. And then after we're done with that, we'll open up for live personal readings. So all the info on how to get that is in the chat box. Let's go ahead and let's get started here. And let's see how your person is currently thinking and feeling about you. Alrighty, so most important messages in love, please. How is your person currently thinking and feeling about you? How are they currently thinking and feeling about your relationship? What do they want you to know? I have so many cards that want to come out. So I feel like this person is ready to speak. Let's go ahead and cut the deck here. Alrighty, so in his current overall energy towards you, we've got the Seven of Swords. Okay, so right now, this person feels very, I don't want to say detached from you, but just that they have a lot of things that are going on in their life that are preventing them from being all in the way that they want to. Okay. They want to be more forward facing in your life, and they feel like they're not showing up in the way that they want to show up. Okay. There are many reasons for this because this is a general reading, but right now he just feels like he's not good enough. He's not doing enough. He's not in a good place. He's not in the right position. Like, he definitely feels like in some way he's dropping the ball, or he's not showing up to the occasion. Okay. So when it comes to your relationship right now, the way that he's thinking about it primarily is a little bit more from the way that he's perceiving it. And his perception is that he's not where he needs to be in order to make the relationship what he wants it to be, or what you both want it to be. So hopefully as we go along, we'll get a little bit more clarification of what's actually going on. But I do just feel that you may not be this person's number one priority right now, not because they want it to be that way, but because it kind of has to be that way. Okay. It feels like there are just things that are more important right now, things that are taking more precedence, things that are kind of like emergencies in a sense going on, like things they'd rather not be, dealing with, but they find themselves in. And unfortunately, because they find themselves in certain circumstances, it's not allowing them to show up for you and your relationship the way he wants to. So he's kind of taking it more as like a personal failure, or he's kind of taking it more as like, I'm the one that's messing this up. He's not, thinking like you are doing anything. Okay. So the way that he is thinking about you, we have the Six of Wands. Yeah. Like, as far as you're concerned, you are exactly what he wants. Like, you are perfect, and he thinks you're everything. Okay? Like, I feel like you could pretty much do no wrong in his eyes. That's just kind of how well you have him wrapped around your finger at this particular point in time. Um so like I said, like, if your connection is uncertain right now, it's not because of you, right? Like, it's not like, "Oh, there's something wrong with you or something you're not doing." No, it's just more circumstantial. Bigger than that, though, he is happy. He is, like, overjoyed, maybe is a better word to say, that he even has you, okay? Like I said, you're, like, exactly what he's looking for. You're, like, his dream girl. So, he's just happy to have you. He's happy that he's in your life. He's happy that he has access to you. He's happy that you are available to him and that there even is the opportunity of developing this relationship with you. Like, for him, that's enough. Like, for him, that right there is like, wow, okay. Um, I feel like you are like a very good addition to his life, or like you bring a lot of good energy to his life. Um, and it kind of creates some balance for him because I feel like without you, his life is very one flavor, or it's very like one, like it's very one monotonous. Let's just say that. It's very He has a very monotonous life. You know, he kind of wakes up and does the same thing every single day. And, you know, it serves him, right? That consistency and that discipline definitely serves him, but life can be boring. So I feel like with you, you make life interesting. You make life more exciting. It's something for him to look forward to. And when he is going about his, you know, everyday life, doing the things he has to do, it's kind of this nice feeling that he has knowing that you're in his life. So, I mean, you add a lot of value to him just for existing, right? Like, beyond, you don't have to like do anything in his eyes. Like, just you existing is like, it does it for him. Okay. So, he is very much so still in this with you. He's still very interested in you, very attracted to you, very happy and excited that he has you in his life. Okay. It feels like he has won. You know, that's kind of how it feels like with you. What I'm getting from him is like having a girl like you is like it's like a prize, you know, it's like a dream. Like, he's kind of waited a long time to meet somebody like you. So the fact that he's met you, it's like even that in itself is awesome. So, you know, just just that for him is enough, okay? So you don't have to like worry about him or his interest in you. The interest in you, the attraction towards you is very, very high, okay? Hello. How are you? How are you feeling? Are you okay? Let me know. Okay, so how he's feeling about you right now, we have the Ace of Cups. Yes, like I said, you don't have to worry about his feelings towards you. And there's different things that are going on here, okay? His external circumstances, his life may be putting a really big weight on him, okay? But that doesn't change the way he feels about you, his desire towards you, his level of attraction towards you, his interest in you, because the interest in you is very high, right? Six of Wands, Ace of Cups, especially in the heart space, is very, very good. Okay. So this is very, very good. I'm not worried about, you know, how does he feel about you, or, you know, does he like you? I'm not worried about that at all. For me, it's more of what is going on with him. So let's actually clarify that. Let's try to clarify the Seven of Swords and see what are these kind of factors that are going on behind the scenes with him that you likely are not aware of at this time. Okay, so clarifying the Seven of Swords, I have the Emperor. Wow, this is actually great. Okay, So, what he is most concerned about right now at this particular point in his life is building his empire. Okay. That's what he's trying to do right now. Now, what building an empire looks like for everyone is different, but what I'm kind of getting from him is he's trying to have complete control over his own life. So, what he does on a daily basis, how much money he makes, how he spends that money, how he spends his time, having that freedom, right? That's what he's like really, really concerned about right now. Okay. So, he could be very, very inner like wrapped up with work. And it's not just that he's wrapped up with work, it's a little bit deeper than that. It's more about him getting to a certain level in his career where he feels really confident about himself, confident about his ability, about his position, confident about the amount of money that he's making, and kind of knowing that he has like this level of security, right? Because when it comes to the relationship that he wants to build with you, he is going to have to take his foot off the gas or take his eye off the prize for a little bit. Okay. So before he does that, he wants to make sure that he's in a good place. So that way, he can, spend time with you building those initial years of your connection. So that way you guys can, go on vacation and he doesn't have to worry about what's going on at home and does he have enough money, things like that. Okay. So that's the way that he's thinking about it is he has to really strengthen his position in life right now so that he can actually focus on this relationship because the way things stand right now, it feels like he's not in control in some way shape or form. In some way shape or form or for some reason he is not in control. I do have the death card at the bottom of the deck, and so I do feel like he has to make some really big changes in his life in order to have that control. His current life right now may be set up in such a way where he's not the main person in his life. There may be somebody that he has to answer to or somebody that he takes care of, or he has like a responsibility that kind of is more of a drain on his energy more than like lifting him up. So it feels like he has to make some kind of massive change in his life to turn the tide around. Let's try to go a little bit deeper into that, but he's what he when he wakes up in the morning, what he's thinking about is where am I at right now? How am I doing in terms of how secure I feel in my own life? Can I stand on my own 2 feet? That's essentially what he's concerned about. And for some of you, he's currently in a life right now where he's not fully in control and he's trying to leave that situation and have more control, or he's just having to build more security in his life. Okay. It's kind of one or the other, or it's like a combination of both, but let's kind of go a little bit deeper there. Yeah, Queen of Swords. He's having to put boundaries up. He's having to make some hard decisions. He's having to make some cuts. It's tough, right? Being in charge of your own life, being the boss, being the leader requires you to move in a different way, carry yourself in a different way, think differently, act differently. And that's kind of the transformation that he's going through on a personal level. I also have the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck now. It feels like for some of you, this may require him to have to start over in a sense. So I'm getting a couple of different examples. For some of you, this person may currently be in a relationship. They could be in a marriage or just a long-term relationship. Maybe they share children with that person, or they share a home or an asset or a living situation with that particular person. and they don't want that scenario anymore. And so they want to have a scenario where they have more control, where they're in charge, where they make the decisions, and they have to work themselves out of the system that they've kind of created for themselves, or the life that they've created for themselves. Okay. So that's what it is for some of you. This person may not really be in control of their life the way that you think. Okay. For others of you, this person may be in a job or a working situation where that job controls their life 100%, right? It controls when they wake up, when they go to sleep, what they do every single day, how much money they have, their ability to save and spend, right? It just has all this control over them. And that situation may be toxic or unfavorable in some way, but they kind of have to build their way out of that. They can't just like quit their job and like be done with it. Like they have to kind of build something that's going to allow them to quit the job, right? So those are kind of the two things that are popping up for me. It's either like relational. For some of you guys, it's their family. Maybe this person lives with their family. Um, Maybe the family relies on them for support. Again, if they have children, that would be especially applicable. So they can't just like kind of just stop giving that support, right? They have to kind of build a system where the support is given, but then they can also have their freedom. So it's a very complex thing. It's not just like, oh, something that they figure out and then they're able to like be out of it tomorrow. No, like it feels like this is something that is going to require a breakdown and then a breakthrough and then a building phase and a growth phase and, getting on their feet. What I would say about this person is that they may not be as stable or secure as you think. Okay. And not that they're always going to be like that, but just they may be in a season of their life where they're going through a transition. And so they're not super stable. And that's normal and that's okay. And that happens. But what I'm getting from them is that whilst they're in this season of change, they are not going to be able to be as available or present to build your relationship. Okay. But he also may not be giving you the full breakdown in details. And you may, kind of be taking it personal, thinking that, oh, there's something wrong with you. Okay. And that is very much so not the case. So how he feels about your particular connection right now, we have the Four of Swords. Yeah, he feels limited in his availability, what he can do, the mental and emotional energy that he can invest in it. He kind of feels stuck. Um, and when you're trying to grow a relationship, you can't feel stuck, right? You need to feel free. And that's sort of the issue with him. I feel like he is needing to like be free. Okay. So that's kind of the problem with him right now. Whatever his circumstances are, they're very limiting. Okay. They're very, very limiting. All right. Let's get him some messages from him to you, see what he wants to say. Okay, we have I knew exactly what I was doing, and bottom of the deck, we have the timing just wasn't right for us. I'm going to read this in the present tense, which is I know what I'm doing, and the timing isn't right for us. So this is very strategic on his part because he knows the depth of his situation. Okay. I feel like he knows that it's going to take a long time for him to truly be in the position that he needs to be in order to be what he needs to be for your relationship. Okay. Right now, your relationship is kind of like this distant dream for him, right? It's off in the future. It's something that for him, he sees as a one-day thing. Like, one day when this happens, when my life is more like this, when I finish this, or I've completed this, or I've done that, then this can happen. Like, that's kind of the way that he frames this whole thing, because the situation that he's in right now, he's in deep. He's in deep. There's no walking away. There's no like, "Oh, yeah, I just make a couple changes and then I'm done with this." Like, no. Whatever he's in, he's kind of stuck into it, or he's committed to it for a certain period of time, or there are multiple layers of it that have to be solved before he can cleanly walk away, right? There's a level of complexity to it. So he kind of feels like he met you at the wrong time, but at the same time, he's happy that he knows you, okay? But he definitely feels like there will be a more opportune time in the future, and if he did meet you during that more opportune time, then your connection could, like, transpire in a little bit of a more favorable way, but everything happens for a reason. So, yeah, he's aware, he knows, he's not, oblivious to what is going on. He's not oblivious to the circumstances and the realities. He is. And so if he is kind of like taking things super slow, not making any promises or commitments, it's because he knows that he really is not in a place to make those promises and commitments until he has fulfilled or broken his current promises and commitments. So he's got to do what he's got to do first, and then you guys are going to be able to be together, okay? Let's see what else wants to come through. Yep. Look what we have. We will be together again. Exactly. That's exactly the way that he thinks about this. It's just a not right now thing. It's just a once I've figured this out thing, once I've worked through this out, once I've gotten rid of that, like for him, this is happening. If it takes a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, for him, this is happening, and it's kind of like his motivation. It's motivating him to do what he needs to do. And to be honest with you, a lot of what he's doing right now are things that he should have been doing this whole time, right? The toxic situations that he's in, he should have been out of years ago. The job that wasn't properly providing from him, he should have been out of it years ago, right? The relationship that he may be stuck in right now, he should have been out of it years ago. So it's like, unless someone has like a good reason to do something, they're not going to do something. And I feel like you give him a good reason to move forward with his life. You give him a good reason to do the hard work. You give him a good reason to go through the difficulties that he's currently having to go through. Okay. But it's still a process. But look at what I have at the bottom of the deck. That's just so sweet. You are the best thing in my life. And that's exactly what I was saying earlier with the Six of Wands. Like, you don't have to do anything. He just loves you. He loves you, the person. And just having you in his life, having access to you is plenty, right? So you don't have to do anything with him or with this. Like, he's committed, he's looking towards the future, he's looking at the long run. He just has to do the hard work necessary to put himself in the position to actually build a relationship with you. And that's the path he's on right now. And that path is going to require him to have to face fears. That path is going to require him to have to work through, certain things, but it has to be done. Whether it's for you or not for you, it still has to be done. Okay? Let's get one more here. Okay, I actually have 2 things that wanna come out. We have "It was my fault, but I blamed you," and I also have "I hide behind material things." Okay, this is very interesting. I feel like initially, one thing that he did when it came to this connection is he blamed you for why things were not working out, or he was maybe kind of pointing out things that you weren't doing or wanting you to be and show up in a certain way. But what he's realized is it's him that is going to be the one to initiate this connection moving forward, not you, right? You don't need to do anything. It's him that needs to have the vision for your relationship, and he needs to lead you towards his vision, okay? Not the other way around, okay? So initially, he maybe was a little frustrated that you weren't doing things, or maybe that you weren't saying certain things, or you weren't initiating certain things. And now he's understanding that it's his job to initiate, it's his job to build this connection and for you to follow his lead. And he has to be the leader here. And now that he sees the vision for your connection, he's like, well, I'm not quite ready to walk down that path yet. So now he gets that it's not you, it's him. Okay. And I'm not using this as a cop out to say, oh, you're perfect, you're an angel, you're a princess, you don't have to do anything. No, I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that if he wants your relationship to go in a certain direction, it's his job to take the relationship in that direction. Okay. And he didn't realize that initially. Now he realizes that. Now he gets that it's up to him. And what he realized is that he didn't have the capacity or the capability to lead your connection forward. So now he has to do some backtracking. Now he has to go back and fix the weak spots in his life, fix the weak spots within himself, build himself up stronger. And that's another thing that you really showed him, is that he's not as strong as he thought, okay? This is someone that definitely can be a little bit arrogant, a little bit cocky, have a little bit of an ego, right? He's a masculine man, right? So he does think very highly of himself. And what he realized is, yeah, he may be good in certain areas of life, yeah, but the area of life related to relationships and being the type of man that can be in a relationship and still maintain his strength, that's he's not that man yet. And that's what he's realized is, okay, I actually do have some more work to do on myself. And so that's what he's doing right now. He's fully accepted that now, and that's what he's doing right now. But it's just going to take time. It's just going to take time for him to build up to be the man that he wants to be. Okay. I also have here, I hide behind material things. And this is what I was saying earlier about the fact that he may not be as strong as you think. He may be very, very good at putting on a strong face to the world, or he may have a lot of material things that make you think he's in a good position, or he may have a certain job title or something that makes you feel like he is something. But the reality is, who he is behind that is not who you think. And that's what he realized. That's what I was just talking about, is he realized it's not good enough to be in a relationship. Be like, well, I have a good job and I have a car, so that makes me qualified to be in a relationship. Like, no, like that doesn't make you an emotionally available person. That doesn't make you someone who can, take care and provide for someone. Just because you can provide for yourself doesn't mean you can necessarily provide for another person. So there's been a lot of big realizations, kind of like a little bit of maturity, a little bit of growing up that he's had to do, because he's realizing that being in the type of relationship that he's always imagined himself in is going to require a lot more emotional maturity than he currently has at this particular moment in time. Okay. So there's maturity that he's going through. There's growth and inner work that he's going through right now. There's major life changes that he's making right now. And all of the things that he's doing are to put himself in a better position for you and your relationship and your life and your future together. Okay. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know. Okay. What Spirit wants you to do at this time, how Spirit wants you to think about this and move forward at this time. Okay. We have warning. Don't dismiss the red flags. Yes. You may see the red flags in this person, right? Or there may be things about this person that you know are not good, or you know are not right, or not favorable. Okay. The universe is saying don't be oblivious to these things. Okay. And a lot of what it is it's immaturity. A lot of it is immaturity. Bottom of the deck, I have patience. Okay. With time, this person's going to grow and they're going to mature and they're going to evolve. Okay. But keyword is with time. But if you see the immaturities now, don't pretend like they're not there, right? If you see the things that he's doing now that you're like, okay, I don't really like that or whatever, like still keep your guard up, you know? Um, just the whole thing that I'm getting with this relationship right now is this is something that gets better with time. Okay, so you have to allow an adequate amount of time to pass in order to get the full fruits of this. So when there is a slowdown in the relationship, when there is stagnancy, it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it is a blessing in disguise. Let's see what else. Okay, I have integrity. Yes, exactly. There may be certain things about this person that, again, you know you don't like about them, or you think, that doesn't really align with me, or, this kind of is questionable about him. Pay attention to that, okay? Because that's your intuition saying, let's be careful here, right? For sure, there definitely may be things about him that just are not right now. And that's okay. The point right now is just to be aware of that and not feel like you have to compromise yourself just to keep this person around, right? That's the whole thing, is staying at your boundaries, staying in your morals, continuing your values, and seeing if this person evolves and grows to match that, not lowering yourself down to where he is. Okay. You never want to lower yourself down for a man, because that's the moment that he stops respecting you. A man will respect you more when you stay in your values. Okay. So don't be afraid to call things out that he's doing, or say, I don't really like that, or I'm not really interested in that, or, that's not really me. Don't be afraid to kind of like rock the boat with him, or to put up a boundary with him because you're afraid of losing him. No, it's actually going to make him more attracted to you, and it gives him something to work towards. Men value what they have to work towards. So if there are certain things about him that you don't like, and you call it out, it will make him respect you, because he will see that you care about yourself more than him. And that's going to make him want to chase towards you. Okay. So don't put yourself in a bad situation or feel like you have to tolerate certain things just to keep him around. Tell him when you're uncomfortable. Tell him when you don't like something, or, let him show that, hey, that wasn't cool with me. It makes him go, oh, okay, that's a part of the growth that I have to do. And I'm going to keep moving towards her, because with her, I grow. With her, I want to be a better man. She makes me be a better man. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, again, 2 cards are coming out here. One is rejection and the next is twin flame, okay? So, like I was saying earlier, if things in your connection are not going the way that you want to, sometimes this is happening for a reason, right? Sometimes things need to slow down because they're moving too fast and you're missing things, you're not seeing things, or you're not capable and qualified to move into different levels of the relationship. So you need to take space away from each other to gain that personal strength and those personal abilities that you bring to the connection to help it to grow. And that's what I feel is happening right now, is that there's a lot of personal growth that's happening on both sides that could be slowing the connection down. So, the saying rejection is protection, but even if it's not necessarily that this person is flat out rejecting you, if the connection is just not evolving or moving forward, sometimes that's for your own good because there's certain things you need to do in order to be capable to actually even move the connection forward. And this came out with the twin flame card. And this is not to suggest that this person is your twin flame, but what it is suggesting to me is that this person is in your life for a reason. And this person could be mirroring something to you, showing you something about yourself that you need to work on. Okay. And vice versa, you're probably doing the same thing to this person as well. Okay. Actually, you are, because we've talked about that. But there is a higher purpose for this connection rather than just, oh, we hang out and we kiss and we have a good time, right? Like it's a little bit deeper than that. And by both of you understanding what the other person is trying to teach you about yourself and then doing that work, that's what's going to allow your connection to actually come together and come together stronger and last a long time. Now, the bottom of the deck, I have unavailable, right? So right now, this person is unavailable to show up for your relationship in the way that he needs to show up. So he needs to show up in his A game. Right now, he's in his C game. Okay. And that's just what it is. Okay. It's not a personal attack at you, it's not a personal failure on him, right? It's not that the connection cannot happen. Okay. It's just that this is where he is, and then there's where he needs to be, and there's a disconnect between those things, and only he can get on his A game, right? He knows on some level what he needs to do, and he needs to do it. Okay. And so at this particular moment in time, it feels like space is needed to be given to allow him to do what he needs to do to be on his A game for you. Okay. So let's kind of flip this around now and let's look at what Spirit wants you to know right now, what Spirit wants you to do, and how Spirit wants you to kind of move forward with this person whilst they're working on themselves, right? Because we see clearly this person is working on themselves. So let's see what comes through on your side. Okay, so for you, we have the Eight of Pentacles coming out here, but it's coming out in reverse. Okay, so what Spirit is saying for you is that there's a need to take a step back and kind of review where you're at right now and what you've currently built right now in your life. Okay, and to think, does this align with the life that I see for me and my person, right? So, what is your vision with this person? What's the type of lifestyle you see yourself living with this person? And does your current lifestyle align with that? And particularly, what is being highlighted is your physical material situation. So, your finances, your career, your living situation, kind of everything you have going on in your life, does that align with the vision that you see for your relationship? And more than likely, there's some pieces of that that need to be rearranged in order to align. Okay, so that's kind of your work that you're having to do at this time. Whereas he may have a little bit more like emotional work and inner growth and maturity work that he needs to do. Your work may be more material, financial, career wise. Okay, that's kind of where things are sitting for you. Okay, so building on that, we have the Eight of Wands, and this is also in reverse. My deck is upright. This is coming out in reverse as well. There's also the need to process something before you move on. You may be trying to move on from something that you haven't fully learned the lesson from. You haven't fully gotten why you're where you're at, or why you're in the situation that you're in, or why you did what you did. Okay, and this could be related to going back to the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the way you've kind of built your life right now. So it's like you may be trying to get out of your career, but it's like, why did you get into it in the first place? Or you may be trying to find a new job, but like, what's wrong with your job right now? Or you're trying to get out of your living situation, but it's like, what's wrong with your current living situation? Right? Like, you may be trying to get out of something, but not taking personal accountability, because that's really what the number eight is about. It's about being empowered and accountable for your life. And so you may be trying to change something about your life, or you don't like a situation that you're in, but you're not taking accountability. You're maybe taking more of a victim mindset of, oh, this is horrible and this happened to me and this is why I'm here and everything is just so bad for me. And I feel like the universe is saying, no, yes, maybe certain things were unfair, but you have more power than you're giving yourself credit for, or you're not living up to your fullest potential. And there is a need to kind of step into your potential a little bit more, right? You do have more options, or you do have more power than you think. Okay. So it feels like the way out for you is not by building more, or working harder. It's actually more about understanding the past, understanding why you are where you are right now, and looking back at decisions that you made and going, okay, maybe that wasn't the best decision. If I had the information I had now, maybe I would have done this instead. But this is why I did make that decision, and kind of like going back through things and kind of seeing where your mistakes were, like checking your work basically and going, okay, I could have certainly saved more money here, or I didn't have to do that, or whatever. Okay. It feels like for you, it's a little bit more about taking a step back and like taking responsibility and understanding your mistakes so you don't make the same mistakes again. Okay. Oh my God. All these cards are coming out in reverse. This is so interesting. I have the Mother of Cups coming out in reverse now. Okay. So I feel like uh, with this, it's like you don't need more coddling of yourself. Like maybe you've done that enough. And maybe now it's time to take some like actual action, right? To actually take some legitimate action to change your life circumstances. So, maybe you've kind of gone through a period of healing, or you've gone through a period of introspection, or you've gone through, a period of time of really taking your self care seriously. But now it's time to take the self care to the next level. Self care is also saving money, right? That's also a form of self care. Investing money is also a form of self care, right? Ensuring that you're going to have a strong financial future is a form of self care, or putting money aside so that your future self can thrive is a form of self care. And these are forms of self care that actually are going to, make a difference in your life. So, there could be more kind of like unobvious things that you could be doing to take care of yourself. that are actually going to move the needle forward. And that's what I feel you're being asked to do right now. Okay. All right. So one more here, and then we'll kind of tie this all together with a couple more oracles. Okay. Two cards want to come out. That seems to be the theme. When I say that's it, I get more messages. I have the Sun and the Death card. Yeah. So just like how your person has some transformation to go through, you also have some transformation as well. And it's not necessarily negative things, but a part of like doing new things or becoming a new person or taking on a new identity is you have to kill your old identity and you have to remove parts of your old life. And that's what I'm getting here. It's like, think about when you kind of are in that perfect relationship with this person, you're living that perfect life. Who are you when you're then? Like, imagine that version of you and then come back to the current moment and think, what parts of you are not that? And those that gives you the information of exactly what needs to be removed from your life. So you and this person are moving forward in your relationship together by releasing and letting go of the parts of your individual lives that don't align with the future relationship, because he also sees it too. Your person also has this future idea of what your relationship would look like. And so you're both kind of following that vision and doing what needs to be done in your individual lives to achieve that vision. So you're both on the same page. It's just the way that you're doing things or the circumstances of your life may look different, but you're both doing the same thing. So you guys are more aligned than you would think. Okay. All right, let's pull some final oracles to close this out, and then I'll move forward to personal readings. Okay, I have soulmate. Yeah, I have soulmate that wants to come out, and absolutely, whether this is a soulmate that you end up being with till the day you die, or this is a soulmate that's in for a season of your life, this person is very significant and very important in your journey. Hands down, okay? 100%. And at the bottom of the deck, I have worth waiting for. So that kind of just is ultimate confirmation to everything that I've been feeling here. But you're not just sitting around twiddling your thumbs, right? You're not just sitting around waiting for the sake of waiting or being patient for the sake of being patient. It's like, no, there's evolution that needs to happen. There's progress that needs to happen. There's transformation that needs to happen. And it's definitely time to make some big moves when it comes to becoming that version of yourself that's going to be in that relationship. Okay. All right. So that's what I have. I hope that was helpful. Hope it gave you lots of clarity, lots of information. If it did, you give this video a thumbs up. And now I will open up for live readings. Sarah, thank you so much for your donation. Okay, so this will be for Sarah. I will put your timestamp here in the chat. Okay, so for Sarah, we are looking at the thoughts, feelings, and intentions for Johan. Ooh, okay, I already have cards that want to come out. Hold on one second. So, most important messages for Sarah, please. How is Johan currently thinking and feeling about Sarah? What are his intentions moving forward with Sarah? What does she need to know? Okay, so how he is thinking about you, I have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, very positive. He feels like you are solid, you are strong, you are stable, you are secure. You're doing your own thing, right? You got yourself together, you have your life, and you're doing what you got to do. Okay, which I think is how he typically sees you. But yes, he definitely sees you as someone that he holds, let's see, as like an equal to him or like better than him. And I'm saying this from the perspective of like the value that you bring to a relationship, like equal in like that sense. He feels like there's nothing that he can do that you can't do, vice versa. Okay. And even maybe that you bring a little bit more to the table than he does, right? You may be more capable or more available for a relationship than even he is. Okay. So he definitely holds you in very high regards. He sees being with you as something that he has to really show up for. Like it requires conscious effort. It's not who he is natively right now, just like we just discussed in the general, right? Like he's 100%, can say with confidence, not who he thinks he should be in relation to who you need as a partner. Like the person that you need as a partner, he feels he is not that person. Can he become that person? Yes, but he just doesn't feel like he is that person right now. I have the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. He kind of feels a little bit more like a Page of Pentacles with you, right? So the Queen of Pentacles is going to want a King of Pentacles, okay? So the Queen of Pentacles with the King of Pentacles is going to be with someone that he can take care of her, right? Like he's like, oh, cute. I see your little world that you have. I've built something bigger, not to be, degrading of what you've built, but I have something bigger and I can kind of absorb you into my world and you can still be who you are. But I've kind of got this bigger system and structure that we can exist inside of, right? That's what Johan thinks you deserve, like, or need. That you need someone that kind of has his whole empire kind of already sorted, and that you're just kind of coming into his life and he's watching over and looking out for you. Okay. That would be the life position that he would have to be in to feel more confident in this connection with you, to feel like he could actually bring some real value to the table, okay, for you. But right now, he just feels like a Page of Pentacles. He feels like a Page of Pentacles. where, he may be able to take really good care of himself, right? Or maybe not with the Page of Pentacles. Maybe he's at the kind of beginning stages of his career, or, you know, he sees that or feels like he has a long way to go, but he certainly doesn't feel like he's, in a position to really give you something that is going to provide you with some like substantial value. So that's kind of the primary thing with him. Like you said, he's an earth sign, so he may just be someone that thinks more practically when it comes to committed relationship. He's not really just like, oh, as long as it's fun or as long as we're happy, no, I don't think he's thinking like that. I think he's kind of thinking a little bit more, does this make sense? So it's like a positive thing, right? He sees you as someone that is really great, but he just doesn't feel like he is at the level of greatness where he would feel like, yeah, this is my girl and I got her. He doesn't feel like that. But that's how every guy wants to feel. Every guy wants to be with a girl that he feels not better than her, but he feels like I can take care of her. With you, he doesn't feel confident that he can really take care of you. Okay. All right. The way that he's feeling in his heart. Okay, and there's a lot of cards that want to come out. Most important message, please. Queen of Cups. Yeah, again, he also feels like you're more emotionally available. You're more emotionally available. You're more emotionally intelligent than him. You have a lot to give. He feels like you have a lot to give. And again, if you have a lot to give, then he feels like you should also then receive a lot as well, right? You should be giving at the same level that you're receiving. But with him, you're going to give a lot more than you're going to receive. And that's the thing with him. You are just so much more ready for a relationship than he is. Okay. So it's great. Two queens is like, he feels like you're very capable. You're very capable to be in the relationship from a practical, showing up, doing the work type of perception, or type of position. And then you're also in a good, like, just emotional place, a heart open, willingness, connection, vulnerability, right? Like he just feels like you kind of are like really ready for a relationship, a lot more ready for a relationship than he is. And with this, I now have the Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck. He's much more emotionally closed off, or much more emotionally resistant. Like maybe he does feel his feelings, but he's not willing to share them. He's not willing to express them on a regular basis to make you feel seen, heard, loved, respected on a consistent, regular basis, right? Because that's the difference between like just talking to someone and being in a relationship with someone. When you're just talking to someone, you'll kind of show up the way you want to. And then when you don't want to show up, you just like stop talking to them, right? When you're in a relationship, there's just kind of this expectation that you're going to show up consistently and on a regular basis. And that's not something that he is like able to do, or like wanting to do, really, with it being in the heart space, like wanting to do. He's not really seeing the benefit and value of that. Like, what is that going to do for him? Like being emotionally available, what's that going to do for him? He doesn't see the point, the value, like why, So yeah, which is just incompatible with being in a relationship. So he just feels like you're more relationship ready. So his intentions moving forward, what you can expect from him moving forward. I have the Wheel. Okay, so there will be a very karmic change in this connection. Fascinating because we do have another eclipse. We're in eclipse season, so there's lots of karmic things happening, anyways. But there is going to be some type of karmic change to the connection. Um, it feels like the lesson is coming to a head, or the purpose of you meeting him, being involved with him, is coming to a head. And it's time for the wheel to move forward. So it's like either you guys are going to move forward on this karmic wheel together, or your wheels are going to turn in different directions. So I do feel like there is a how can I say? I don't want to say a turning point because it's not really that. It's more of a, is there anything more to gain from this point? Let's say that, right? Because it's like, what are you getting from this? If he's identifying that, hey, you're a great person, but you're more evolved than me. You're more stable than me. You're more emotionally available than me. What more is there to do here, right? Like him basically realizing that he has nothing to give you means that what are you getting from that? And therefore, where is the growth here? And a part of the lesson with this may be not holding on to things that have passed their usefulness, or holding on to things when the person is not making the commitment to evolve, doesn't want to evolve, or the situation is not going to evolve in the way that you need it to evolve. So it feels like there could be kind of like a change in the situation. Maybe someone else kind of turns up on the scene out of nowhere unexpectedly, or something happens in his life where he's not as available. It feels like there's definitely something coming that maybe you both don't see coming, or that is out of either of your control, where it takes the direction, the connection of the direct, oh my God, the direction of the connection in a different way, because it's just what needs to happen karmically. Okay. Um, because yeah, there's just not a lot. It's one thing if I was getting from him, like, okay, I want to be this better guy from Sarah, but he's not giving that. He's just saying, Sarah deserves more. Sarah deserves better. And I'm not that guy. Like, that's basically what I'm getting from him. Like, I'm not that guy. Like, I could be that guy, but I'm not that guy. And there's kind of like this unwillingness, I would say, from his part, um, to be that guy. He kind of wants to continue being emotionally unavailable. He kind of wants to continue, where he's at. Um, yeah. So I'm just getting like a mismatch of energy where you're kind of having to make yourself smaller or accept less to just get something here, but really not getting anything, which I think is what the wheel is referring to. Is there may be kind of like this realization of like, okay, there's some mismatch here, in terms of what this can be, and maybe not having to, really, that you don't have to like hold space for or entertain it, or put in more effort just to like make it continue to exist. So yeah, it feels like this is just kind of going to work itself out for the greatest good of all, because there certainly is a mismatch of energy here for sure. Um so yeah, I feel like when it comes to the intention piece, it's like he's kind of just like we'll see what happens. And then when I look at okay, well what's going to happen? The universe is like, well, things need to evolve here. And so if he's not going to actually evolve it, the universe is going to say, okay, well then we're going to move forward then. So yeah, it's like his unwillingness to evolve kind of forces the connection to have to like go in a different direction because he like won't evolve, which is fine. Like that's his he has the free will to do whatever he wants. But yeah, for sure, there's just you just bringing a lot more to the table. Again, like I said in the general, is he may not be everything you think he is, right? You may think he's like confident or he can do something for you, or he's more of this because he shows you this side of himself, or you make the assumption because of what he's shown you or his job title or whatever. You kind of have these assumptions of who he is and what he can do. But I feel like in reality, it's not what you think at all. And that's why things can evolve. If he really was who he said he was or was who you thought he was, then it could evolve. So there's just a lot more about him that like you don't know, you can't see, and you kind of have to make your decision based upon like the information that you have and also with understanding like what it is that you want and judging him accurately based upon not only can he do it, but is he willing to do it? Because everyone can do anything, but are they willing to do it? And I'm seeing like a low level of like willingness here to do anything that's not really like what he wants to do. And this doesn't seem to be like what he wants to do. Okay. All right. So that's what I have for you. I hope that was helpful, gave you lots of clarity, lots of insight. Hello, hello. Okay, so for your second donation, you wanted to know about Brendan. Interesting. I don't think I've ever met anyone named Brendan. Okay, so, oh, there's already a lot that wants to come out for him already. Most important messages for Sarah and Brendan. How does Brendan feel about Sarah? What is his energy towards her? How is he thinking and feeling? What are his intentions? All right, so for him, the way he's thinking about you, we have the 8 of Wands. So I don't know if this is something that's maybe newer, and therefore there's like a lot to learn about each other. There's like you're establishing rapport, establishing like a connection, but it feels for him there's something very like stimulating about this, in the sense of there's a lot to talk about. Like there's a lot to talk about, or there's a lot to like figure out about you. And he is like excited or optimistic about that part of your connection. Okay. So he's just enjoying the phase that you're in, enjoying getting to know you, enjoying like chatting with you, or enjoying like building rapport with you. The way he's feeling about you, I have the 5 of Swords though. So um there's a couple things coming through with this. He maybe has like identified in that process that there may be some ways in which you and him are maybe incompatible or not on the same page emotionally. I don't get the sense that that's gonna stop him from still trying to like chat with you. Like he may still like being in contact and communicating with you, but he may already be identifying that from what he does know, there maybe is something that he's like, we may not be on the same page about that, or we may not feel the same way about something. But again, I don't think it's like stopping him from continuing being in communication with you. So his intentions here are the 3 of Cups. I do just get the sense that he is open to talking to other people, getting to know other people. He is open right now for sure. So I feel like you're kind of just like maybe one of a certain number of people that he is talking to, and he hasn't really made any decision about you. He hasn't put you in any type of category. Again, it may be too early to categorize you. He may not have enough information to say, okay, I want this to go this way, or I want this to go that way. But yeah, there definitely are other people that he's sussing out and seeing what's going on. So I just get that this maybe is really early, not enough information, not enough development yet, but from what he does know, he may sense there is some incompatibility. So, yeah. Um, you said, no, it's okay. I'm glad we spoke too, because I don't feel comfortable opening up to friends since they also talk to my family. Gotcha. I don't want shit to get around. I gotcha. You said this tracks. You know what, Brie? We are friends, but we do flirt. But I keep him as a friend. Yeah, I feel like he is good with that, the flirting. He's like, yeah, we can flirt. And he's enjoying that, having fun with that. But beyond that, I don't really see him taking any more action. You said he gets a little competitive when I bring someone up I'm talking to, but he never acts on things. Yeah. And I mean, if you don't want anything with a guy, yeah, sure, tell him that. But if you ever do want something with a guy, I would never ever, say anything about another guy. Maybe you know that. I don't know. But that might be what's the incompatibility for him. He may kind of feel like you're putting him in the friend zone, or you don't see him as someone on that level. So therefore, you're telling him that because, if you were talking to a guy you really, really liked, you would never talk about another guy. So maybe he just kind of is like, okay, well, she's not interested in me because if she was, she wouldn't be bringing up other guys or she wouldn't be trying to like, bring out that jealousness in me. So, he may think that maybe you're just kind of keeping him in the friend zone. So that could be the incompatibility that I see here. Mhm. Yeah, it's more of an ego thing than, "Oh, he likes you and he's, like, jealous." It's guys don't like being compared to other guys. I mean, I guess girls don't really either, right? I don't think girls enjoy being compared to other girls, but I think men especially don't like being compared to other guys or being made to feel less than or being like, you know, that you're comparing them. Men are very sensitive to that. So it hits a little deeper, I think, for them more than it does for girls. Um, so yeah, you just may have like struck a nerve in him for sure. You are very welcome. Good luck. Feel better. And yeah, just let yourself feel. Let yourself feel your emotions. It's important. It's a part of healing and recovery.